the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion. Are their evil manners going to lead us to a backwards Wizard of Oz? All that next on the Empire After Show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hakeem is back.
Hey! It's a pre-gaming here. I'm not with the baby. Baby, can you drink? Can you drink? You're legal, right?
I'm legal.
Right?
I'm legal.
As long as there's a picture next to a legal name, we're good. You're good.
Yeah, you're trying to.
Hey, what up, fam? I'm sorry, we're lit in the studio here. You know, it's a full house for season 4, episode 3. Evil Manners of Empire. I'm Jill Munroe. You can follow me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. To my left.
I'm like, oh my God, yeah. I'm right here now.
Yeah,
I moved up in the world.
I'm giving face.
Hey guys,
probably
what's up?
leaning out
I'm
of the shot.
Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me on all social media at Abigail_AF.
And the newbies.
Hello,
in the building.
Yes.
Zach and Taquaila. Yes.
I feel like we need a siren.
I know, right?
Hey guys, I'm Zack Peter, and you can follow me at Just Plain Zack. ZACK.
All right. Hi, AfterBuzzers. I am Taquaila Jackson. You can find me everywhere on social media at Taquaila_I am.
So this is the crew.
She is
Just
the
in case
crew.
you guys were wondering.
Take notes.
This is the crew.
Take notes.
This is the new crew. Wednesday
Snapshot,
night.
screenshot that.
Right,
Remember
at
it.
9. Yes.
9 p.m.
I like that.
Pacific time, the crew, Empire. We're in the building. All right, we have so much to discuss tonight.
So
much. What? So we start off the episode finding out that Cookie has been selected to Forbes 100 most powerful women in business. Like, that's kind of a big
yes,
deal.
round of
It's kind of a
applause.
big deal.
Yeah.
Strange. I aspire to be in Forbes. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah,
but
I think
you know,
I would say, yeah. And did
I
you
don't think
notice
Forbes
how,
is
like,
credible.
I
Who
know.
wants to
Who
be
wants
in
to be
Forbes?
she was the youngest one by like a long.
She
really
was.
long.
Yeah.
Or just the most kept. I'm not sure because I feel like some of them may have been around a similar, like a few of
Oh,
them.
similar age,
but
but she was
from
just
coming.
snatched.
yeah, she
honey.
was.
Yeah,
she was snatched.
yes.
She was looking good. She was looking good. Speaking of.
Speaking of looking good and
Speaking of looking good,
flyness.
feeling good, the flyness. Guys, have you heard about the new show Dynasty premiering on the CW? It's the most instantly addictive new show of the fall. Wednesday, October 11th, today.
Today.
On the CW, it's the most highly anticipated series, Dynasty. Have you seen the original one? I guess it's a remake of the original
Yes.
one. Okay.
Scandal.
It was one of the most
Young.
iconic shows of the 80s. I don't know why they had to put that in there for you. Of the 80s, yeah.
It's
The
legendary.
fashion and fight scenes alone are legendary. So the CW's version of the Dynasty is already getting major love from critics. You won't be able to get enough of the drama and the surprises. Make sure you tune in. It's from very well-known producers of Gossip Girl, The OC. You know it's not going to disappoint.
good.
I love
Right.
Gossip Girl.
And OC
And
too.
OC.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
that's like
both
my
good.
childhood.
Exactly.
Classics.
So it's about the Carringtons, and they're the family that has it all. Their business is literally power, similar to Empire, I would
Yes.
say. And they'll do anything to get more of it, like anyone who has power. Blake Carrington rules Dynasty by all means necessary, including manipulating his own kids, Fallon and Steven.
Sounds like a
Fallon,
Lucious.
yeah,
Yes.
it was right. It's like,
Yeah.
should we just switch it out with
Perfect
Lucious? This is
timing.
a
Yep.
write up for Empire. So Fallon Carrington is ready to take over the family business and the world, but she's in for a large surprise. Cue Crystal, her father's equally ambitious and gorgeous young fiance. Of course, the mother, the new mom, and the daughter. So get ready. The women on the show are bosses. They are not going to fight for a man. They're fighting for a business and an empire.
Yeah.
For the Carringtons, that is the same thing. So don't miss the series premiere of Dynasty. Again, it's Wednesday, October 11th, today. And that's after the season premiere of Riverdale, only on the CW.
Oh,
Ouch. You get
Wednesday
that.
nights are
Hey.
like great.
They
They
are.
are. It's like,
You know?
Wednesday nights.
can we just
Super
call
hit.
off work? No dinner? I'm going to do a
Right.
TV dinner.
that
Like,
would do.
DVR right now.
DVR overdrive, right? So, okay, the other thing that we look in on is that we see Lucious. He's still trying to get back to Lucius. He's Dwight right now, as I
He's
like to
still
say.
Dwight.
You know,
He's slow. I know I'm jumping ahead, but that made my life.
Shine said, right.
you know, on the treadmill, trying to work it out, still trying to figure out, was he really this bad of a guy?
Yes.
What's going on? You know, Claudia has departed from parts unknown.
Finally,
Finally,
I'm
yes.
so happy. I was happy to not see her this
Is
week.
she?
She was like my least favorite favorite character.
Is she
That
gone,
made me
or
happy.
is she gone
I think
for a
she's
minute?
coming
For a
back. I
minute.
think she's gone for a minute, but I appreciated getting through an episode without her.
Without her, yes, I agreed with you that one. Yes.
So we see that, he's still trying to figure it out. And the other storyline of the night is the Dubois family, of course.
Right?
Still trying to
creeping up on it.
still trying to take the Lyon family out. And Mrs. Dubois has come up with an analogy for the Lyon family, the brothers, and how she's going to take them out. She said a Wizard of Oz with an SAT word that I don't remember right now. One of the dictionary words.
I love that an SAT word.
One of those words that you apply in theory a lot, but in actual conversation, not so much. She said that the Scarecrow is Hakeem. Okay, the lion is
No.
Lion's Hakeem.
Yeah, the cowardly lion was Hakeem. The Scarecrow was
Is
Andre.
Andre,
Yes.
because he has the brains, even though the Scarecrow didn't have any brains. So I don't. But she said it's a flip side version of it, so we'll figure that out. And the Tin Man is Jamal, who always has a heart, but I guess she's vying to take his heart away from
He's
him.
just always being manipulated by the people he's been in relationships with.
Right.
So far in the series. So yeah,
And it continues.
it does. He's the one that I'm gonna be the maddest about because.
Can I just shout him out though? He looked
Yes,
fine.
did he not?
Jamal?
Like, oh my god! I was sitting that last shirt he had that was like just so cut
And his
perfect.
hair,
Yes.
the curls,
And I was
the
like,
eyebrows,
yes.
it was.
I was like, yes. I
You made a comment
yeah.
about Hakeem wanting you to get helps you get lit, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, Jamal makes me want to get laid.
Yeah.
No, but he looked
Jamal lit.
so good. I mean, everyone always looks good, but he looked special.
did.
Like he had a
He
glow
really did.
about
Well,
him.
he has to. He's like attracting a man right now.
I mean, here's the thing though. This whole
trying to keep it
season,
tight.
He's attracted more than a man because I'm like,
Hello, yes.
we love you, Jamal.
We do.
Jussie, we love you too. You interviewed him earlier.
I did. I got to interview him at the Black AIDS Institute event and Taraji, and it was awesome. He's like the same person. It was super
Seems
weird.
like-
It was really, I honestly, like, he hugged me after. I was like, I feel like I know you.
Yeah,
but
so
like just
touching.
from watching it, because and I actually made that comparison with him. I'm like, you seem so similar to your like. Is it really acting? Because he's just so genuine and kind, and like
That's
it was a
good.
special treat.
Yeah.
But Cookie's a little more aggressive, I would say, on the show. But yeah, it was a pleasure interviewing him. He's a
So you guys
sweetheart.
make sure to check that out.
Oh yeah, plug.
Yeah.
There we
You can
go.
find that on my YouTube channel and also at AfterBuzz's Red Carpet Events YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
The Black AIDS Institute event 2017.
So check her out.
Check it.
So the thing that stood out to me is that we learned a little bit more about Warren in this meeting.
Right.
You know, we saw the other cousin. She's obviously planning to go after Andre some type
Yeah.
of way. But we know Andre has his sights right now being occupied by the
detective,
detective,
right.
who's very 50 Shades of Grey or
Right.
something.
It is very true.
She's very dark. She has something very dark going on with her aura.
Yeah.
Like she seems to like pain and whips
And her power too, just to be able to be in control.
She likes to be the dominant
She's
one.
exactly.
Yes. Okay, so we'll have to see where that goes because it clearly is going someplace kind of wild.
Yeah, I was a little not uncomfortable in the sexuality of it because I'm all about that, but it was even the scene when they're stripping. It just I'm
Something's
jumping
weird for
ahead.
you.
It's just something doesn't feel right, and I don't know if that's. I mean, I'm assuming they meant for it to feel that way, but like I'm just confused as to how easy he's being as well. Like it just seems like
It's a weird.
it's just weird. That doesn't
Right,
make
yeah.
sense. It just
Maybe
doesn't make
he's
sense to
using
me.
it as a way to manipulate
Her.
They
Right.
both are on each
Yeah.
side,
Yeah,
and
they're
someone's
trying
going to
to-
get caught in
yeah.
the middle.
Right.
Because when she first had the binoculars at his apartment, he got mad. I was like, "Yeah, what the heck is she doing?"
Right.
But then something clicks in his mind, and he's like, "No, like
I'm gonna
gonna
play
work.
this my
I'm
way.
going to try to." And then she pulls into it, regardless of who's
Yeah.
trying to get who at this time. It's still early, but it was.
Yeah,
it was interesting how it
was
played out.
interesting.
And
I was
turned real
like,
quick.
I know about phone sex, but like
I know.
building,
Yeah. I was
it's
like, and you
across
still-
the panels.
yeah.
That's interesting. That's a new one.
And it was like levels, so like 7th floor can watch, 6th floor
I know,
can
like,
watch.
everybody
you
can
want to
see
go
the show.
up, and then
It's a
8, 9,
show.
10. Yeah.
Intensity. Okay, we're going to circle back to that in a minute. But talking about Warren really quickly, we learned that his father was also a lawyer. We also, Mama Dubois said before that Warren was trying to live up to his father, but obviously his father fell short in some type of ways. I wasn't sure if the conversation he had with Jamal saying that his education was paid for through casinos, I'm not sure how much of that is real and how much of that is added in to draw him in.
Right.
I suspect that some portion of it is, but we don't know. You don't know?
I feel like I'm always hating, but I'm going to hate a little more.
Go right ahead.
I was so underwhelmed by his storyline.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, so your dad drank. Like,
How original.
and a gamble. Like, come up with something. Tell me something I have not heard
Jamal's
before.
dad threw him in the trash.
Right. Like, you know, it's
still up there.
at least there's, you know,
Upping the ante.
there's that one story that's like, it sticks out. So it just, I was a little bit, I think it's just because he's such a grown man. It was just a
wanted
weird.
more.
Yeah, I wanted a little more out of that.
Can I tell you my favorite part of the scene with Diana and the cousins?
Yeah.
Angelo.
Yes.
Angelo.
Drunk off his butt.
Drunk
Yes.
Angelo, still bitter, still wondering. He obviously is mad that Warren is right now the favorite child, well, not child,
Family member,
but the
but
favorite
yeah.
family
Right.
member, and that he is doing Diana's bidding for him. And D'Angelo's in the doghouse. Not D'Angelo. Angelo's in the doghouse. And his mom is kind of like, find your role. Figure out what you're going to do and play it. So my question is, do we think that we're going to see Angelo making a beeline back to
Yes.
Cookie?
Yes, I think so.
I think so. But I
think-
also think he needs to hit up Claudia because he has some issues he's got to work through.
I don't want no Claudia. Claudia's creepy.
No, I don't mean. I mean, she needs to like help him get back out.
She's
there.
not a psychotherapist. She's a physical
a-
therapist. We don't know what she's
She
doing.
can help him
She's
rehabilitate himself back
D
into the
for all the
league.
above. Yes.
Freaky deaky.
But yeah, I'm so glad you said that because I really do feel like just in that moment of him, he's still bitter, and maybe he's bitter that just it blew up, or still just at Cookie. I think because there was real genuine interest in their relationship.
Yeah.
But I think he's somehow gonna turn on his mom because you kind of see how everybody's a little bit going there so far, and Cookie's so good at reading people. And if we could just jump to the banker scene real quick, I kind of felt bad. I was like, no, why'd she just call him out like that? Maybe it is like they're trying to pull back from the music industry. They just can't afford to take that risk right now. We can't give you that money. But then
I
you know
don't
at
think
the
they're ever
end,
gonna pull
I
back
was like,
from the music.
yeah,
Well, maybe.
Well, from
I mean, just my opinion is that the music is what makes them. It's their connection point. It always comes back to that. We
Right.
kind of saw that with even Lucious in his journey back to find himself. The first place that Jamal took him to was the studio. And obviously that had some type of effect because when certain songs are played or whatever, all of a sudden, you know, Lucious turns into, I don't know, a Republican from 1990s. Like rap and violence. I don't know.
But isn't that interesting? I mean, with the music, like they say music, you use the most of your senses or whatever. And like, you know, when you're driving and you hear a song, like it takes you back to like a specific, like, oh my God, my freshman year of high school.
It does, yes.
Or like
I
a
lived in
moment in
Miami,
your life.
yes.
Or like, you know, whatever. So I think that, you know, I'm liking that they're taking real, actual ties.
I think
And
Lucious
doing
has
it, but
some,
that was a little aggressive.
some post-traumatic stress.
PTSD to the max. Yeah.
So to your point about the bank, Empire obviously in order to do this 20 for 20 needs a hefty cash flow.
Right.
Lucious's rehabilitation. They haven't been putting out music, so they're trying to get $100 million line of credit from the bank. Hey, I'm trying to get like you know.
Can I get a
Trying to
million?
get the bills paid.
right.
Can I get $100,000? That'd be cool.
I'm saying it's something along those lines. I'm not that big.
Not at all.
I can manage.
I will manage. Yes.
So we go to the bank, we head over, and the original banker that was supposed to meet with them is changed out. Of course, Andre's like, just follow my lead. I got this, man. No problem. We're going to make this happen.
Right.
So we head to the bank and take it to her.
Well, yeah, so we head to the bank and just the banker's just saying like no, and like Cookie said, she just read him so clearly. I thought she was a little harsh at first, but he's like, you know, I can't, we can't do this. We can't take this risk with Empire right now. I don't know if it's liability or whatever, but they just can't do it. Until when she starts reading him, it's like, you had your mind made up before we came. And it was really just so easy because he didn't even open their portfolio to kind of go over anything with them or certain areas that was
questions.
risky
Yeah, or
for
give
them. He
concrete
just
points,
completely
yeah.
closed it, and that was it.
Did you guys catch that he was associated with the Dubois? Because I didn't.
I knew it. I knew
I
it
didn't.
was
I didn't.
because
I
I
didn't
feel
catch
as
that at
though
first.
I was like an
they're in-
idiot.
I mean, for
Like,
me,
he's an uppity old man.
I just
Yeah.
exactly thought the same thing too.
Yeah.
Right.
Just not into the rap game, the music, yeah.
when they switched it out, I was like, the Dubois have him in their pocket some type of way. I just never put anything past them because this is a powerful family.
Yeah.
She's trying to take them out.
Mama Dubois
Anyway,
got
Nick.
everybody in her
Yeah.
pocket.
I mean, and we see it, and he's at the end. But to me, I thought it was really funny because at the end, we can fast forward again. Cookie just stands her ground. She puts her heart on the line. And is like, look, this is what has happened to me today. This is what has happened in my life. You already know. Kind of trying to combat the mean girls and get ahead of it all. And Miss Dubois is kind of deflated because all the other women start siding with Cookie and start being on her side and telling their stories too, and it empowers Cookie. And that's what she was like, okay, girl power, this works. Two, they get in the car and he's playing drip, drop, drip, drop. And I'm like, really? And you just seen how frustrated Mr. Dubois was because it's like, turn this off. And then he's like, oh, cousin, I changed my banker today. Or whatever statement he was like, cousin, we put, I think he said a fire in Cookie and the Lions today. And she just was over it at that time because this game, this hand she tried to deal didn't go through the way she wanted it to.
What I like about this season is sort of, and you saw that with the intros, that we're seeing Cookie's backstory now. We're seeing her journey in jail and what she had to go through during that time. The conversations with Lucious and him asking why she was gone for 17 years are kind of forcing Cookie to look back through that time period. Last season, we saw her go through her youth and first meeting Lucious. Now we're seeing how hard those 17 years were. But what we also learned was that there is a lot of kinship for those women that are in prison together, and that we know it can be a hardcore place, but it also is a type of family because, as was pointed out, most women that go to jail, it's something to do with their mate or with a man. So I thought that was an important touching sort of thing for them to bring into focus, because there are a lot of women in jail going through those type of things. That
Highlighting real life in it, but also too past even like past prison. Just the fact of a unity of females was a nice thing to see. Like even in the upper crust of society, it's like, man, women are mean to each other. Like, we are not, and I'll be the first to admit, y'all heard me before we started. Like, we're not nice. Like, sir, it's very easy to pick apart another female, but like at some point you need to like push past that and just be like, we're all just doing the best that we can. And as soon as people put their guard down, then it's like, oh my God, we have this in common. We have this in common. So it made me a little warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, which we saw in that scene with Cookie, which was probably one of my favorite scenes, because we always see her being so bad boss lady,
Ready to fight.
Yeah, whereas this time she really kind of let her guard down, and you see the humility, and I really appreciated that scene.
I did too, and I appreciated how it touched the women who initially were so ready to reject her, just based on what Diana was saying to them, and just because they knew that she came from that rap world and those type of things. But when it comes down to it, they were women in business, like you said, supporting each other. So I appreciated that. So speaking of themes with family, Jamal and Lucious take a trip to the studio. Thirsty sneaks them in through the back door. So this particular security guard, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, what?
I thought nobody can know. Now the security guard, Anyway, I know that they need to keep it kind of locked, but I'm just saying the circle keeps getting bigger. Who knows what's going on with Lucious's lack of memory? But we see Lucious come into the studio, I guess, where he must have made a bunch of his hit albums. It's a special one. Everybody has those. Electric Lady, like in New York, things like that. So Lucious starts to feel something. He doesn't remember the board. He knows that the music sounds good, but he's not connecting to that side as far as a writer at all. He doesn't even know how melodies are put together, how songs are brought up to him. So I think it's a tender moment. He and Jamal, they've always connected over the music. So to see them reconnect in a different sort of way, where Jamal, who's probably always been a student to Lucious, is now teaching him, was really touching. And to also see Jamal once again deal with the fact that at 6 his dad put him in the trash, but now his father has compassion, or Dwight does, because that's what to understand how much that hurt him and everything like that. So I felt like that was another touching moment.
It was pivotal. Yeah, I think I agreed with Lucious, or Dwight, that's what I say, Lucious Dwight, when he asked them to stop trying to hide who he was. If he was a monster, he wanted to know that. And I truly believe it's for him to see maybe where he went wrong, especially if we're going to keep this tagline and he's not going to bring his memorization back. And then also for the apologies that Jamal has probably wanted since he was 6 for being thrown in the trash can and abused because of his identity. And then also just for Cookie, same apologies she got, or will lead to that, as we may see, because he wants to know the whole story and why he made her, or why she was in jail because of him. So I think that healing process is going to be for all of them. So I was glad about that happening too.
Can you imagine though, like waking up in a hospital and then having people tell you all these heinous things that you've done, and like you really like you can't recollect it. Like it's just like sitting there and someone being like, you're a horrible human being, like over and over. Like he's got to be a little depressed or something. Like I don't know what exactly it is.
They've been trying to keep it from him.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably conflicted on going on. And to that end, when Shine, you know, bust his way into the studio fresh off of his I Get 5 of the 20 for 20 deal.
Right.
Question, where's Nessa? Her name wasn't on the board. Shine only had one album and it didn't have Nessa's name by it. Where's Nessa? We just want to know.
We do.
Someone tell us.
Put out an Amber Alert. Where's Nessa?
Yeah, Amber Alert.
We see that Shine coming in, Lucious remembers and calls him Moonshine. We know that Shine has dropped the moon aspect of it at some point in time. Yeah. And he remembers that they were friends and that they possibly did music together, which we know that I guess Lucious took some music from Shine and that they were frenemies. But before that, they used to get money together on the block. And so Shine, for whatever reason, for this 20 for 20, has decided that one of his albums that he's going to release is a remix of the song of a B-side. Not even an A-side, of a B-side. If you don't know what a B-side is, back in the day when they used to have 45s, the A-side would be the popular single, the B-side would be probably an album cut that they just put on the back to fill that space.
Can I just say I didn't know what a B-side was?
Oh, there we go.
Like you're laughing at her, but I'm like, wait, I don't know what we're talking
You're like,
about
no,
right
stop
now.
laughing.
Hold on, let me Google it.
What is a B-side?
Let me take notes.
So it's the flip side of a cut, something usually that is an album cut or a throwaway thing. Like now, you know, a lot of mixtapes today probably would be filled with B-sides back in the day. So so that's what that was. So Shine decided to remix that and play that. And obviously it was a track that Lucious did some disarray and harm to, some bullet holes, gunshots, and stab wounds. I don't know. But Lucious had a vicious reaction inside the studio.
Some intense flashbacks there.
Right, exactly.
The music is what's kind of triggering all of his memories, because we had the same thing last week.
Yeah. And Shine is looking at him like, what's going on with you? What's happening with you?
He's slow. I was just like, oh no.
And I personally felt that because, as Zach and I discussed last week, I feel like his performance is a little Rain Man-ish of Dwight. It's gotten better.
Even when he was painting, he's like, Bella's paints.
Yes.
I don't know.
But it's a little too simple even for
it's
Dwight.
Like you can blow on the paint like a normal
like I understand he's pure and unvarnished, but
maybe we're just so non-pure and non.
Is that unvarnished?
We're so varnished.
We're projecting.
Yeah, that it's just like, oh, he really is just innocent.
Okay.
Maybe.
So, do you guys have any thoughts where you think that this thing with Shine is gonna go? What do you think his reaction is? Because he said to Cookie he likes doing business with her much more, but now that he knows Lucious is not quite right, do you think it's going to send him back to Andre? Like, what do you think Shine's next move is going to be?
Shine's going to conspire to do something. That's very much up his alley, and I think he's such an opportunist that once he sees, you know, a way he can get a leg up, he's going to jump in on this. And he's probably, I don't know if he's going to go back to Andre, but he's going to come up with something. He has a trick up his sleeve.
Either like blackmail because he knows, or even like blackmail. Just like talking Lucious into something that actually isn't true. Like, oh yeah, this was mine. Like, you know, I did that. Like, you know, and then Lucious believes, I don't know. I mean, the family will know that he didn't, but I feel like there's so many opportunities.
Many things. Okay, let's go back and talk about Hakeem. Shut up, Trick. And Hakeem is getting into being this new daddy thing with Tiana. He's into Bella's schedule and making sure that she meets her play dates. And he's digging kind of the family life minus Anika.
Right. I like it. I like him and dad. Like I like him like a little more toned down and like playing with the baby, and he knows her schedule. Yeah, I'm into it.
I really believe people go through cycles.
Yes.
Like not just him, but I really, because I mean, I go through these, you know, where you're like, I'm gonna stay in for 6 months straight, and then it's like, oh no, we're gonna turn up now for like, no, I mean 6 months is a little aggressive. I'm gonna stay in for a week, and no, but I think that this is a cycle we're seeing with him. I don't think it's gonna last forever. I think balance is what he needs. I think he's a little bit more unbalanced, but it's in a positive light now, so we're okay with it. I also think that he's crazy about the gun. That bothered me with all the gunshots and everything. And he's like, "What? I'm not gonna swear in front of her." I'm like, "No, but we also don't need like gunshots in the background." Like, you know, come on. But I do like it, and I like seeing Tiana. I was happy with her decisions there, not to overstep, not to.
I thought she was a little too reserved. Like I would have liked her to have stepped up a little bit in support of Hakeem, but she like totally was like, I'm not getting involved.
But it's his battle.
You know what? I felt that it was the right thing to do because also Anika, no matter what, as she said, is Bella's mother.
Correct.
And you know, you can't just step in and because for 5 months, not like that, but. Yeah, for 5 months you were a part of this child's life, and she obviously has an attachment to you, and you guys have a relationship, but you can't just totally disregard her mother and her mother's rights. So I thought Tiana was spot on. I was proud because I was like, some maturity there. Right. I guess she knows she has the upper hand, though.
Well, because she didn't even need to say anything.
Checking for you.
Right. She didn't even need to say it. The baby's like, oh, I want to go back here. Like, what do you even need to say to that? Right. It speaks for itself.
I thought she was kind of maybe trying to relieve herself of her mommy duties because when Hakeem was trying to lie to Anika and be like, well, we got to go see Lucious. He got to go over there tomorrow. And she was like, but then you go today. And I was like, why are you throwing him under the bus? Wait a minute. He's trying to help
she's on that other cycle where she's like, let's go out. No.
Exactly. It's her turn now. It's her turn, right? Yeah.
She's like, remember those bathtub moments? That's what I'm talking about.
I'm tired of being mommy. Exactly. Let's go turn up. Where's Tori?
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that was just my take on it.
I mean, this is a good storyline. I feel like there's a lot of meat there. And there, to your point, once again, is since we're seeing Hakeem grow up, there is a lot of realism to the fact that when you are co-parenting, especially when, you know, maybe either one could be considered not quite appropriate, that there's going to be some back and forth. I'm just glad that Anika didn't trip out either.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, she handled it way more calm than I expected her to.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is the Empire cast actually acting like mature adults?
But did Anika's acting seem a little off to you guys in that scene?
Well, I think it's because Anika is
She's
still on the verge
to be a little unstable.
of...
Yeah,
okay. That's what I thought. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, we can debate on whether that's really what we saw, but I think that is what we're supposed to be seeing. Right? So, what was your most impactful moment of this episode?
The scene with, like I said, the scene with Cookie when she was with all the other women, like that was just so powerful because it's the first time we really see her in front of other people out in public really just let her guard down. Where I think we've seen snippets of it with her family, but like to just be that humble in front of other women that obviously appear to not like her, I really liked that and respected that.
I agree. I like seeing her soften when it could just be a pissing match.
Yeah, we can have her soften and we can have Dwight give me a little more Lucious.
Like
that's their balance.
So my next question is, so we saw Diana grab Cookie's hand, you know, ploy, plug,
She's
all
so
of that
fake.
manipulation. Do you
Shade.
think that Cookie is falling into that slightly, or do you think she still has her guard up?
Slightly.
Slight.
Yeah, everyone wants to think like, oh, maybe this is past us. Maybe this, you know, it's gotta be draining to constantly be combative with someone. So yeah, I think she is a little bit. I think she was even surprised. Like, I think even herself she didn't want to allow herself to fall into it, but she was. She was like, what? Why am I okay?
I mean, if some woman that I didn't know was like, "I'll give you $10 million," and I got some other on it, I probably would be a little bit more open.
Let me hold your hand.
Exactly. Right. Shout out to girl power with $1 million plus funds, bank account, reach to make it happen.
Let me give you my number.
I got a couple of business ideas.
Right.
Well, I think that it's time for predictions.
We can do that.
Ooh. Okay, no.
I was ready.
Finish it. We don't need all the special effects. We can just talk about it.
I'll just woo. Okay. I'll just start. I think that the whole relationship with the what is she, a federal agent? No, she's
just
NYPD.
a detective.
Okay,
a detective liaison, actually, because
Okay.
she's not even really on the case.
So is she like an assistant?
No, I think she has a role.
Sorry, while I'm on that, do we all not notice how small Andre's office was when she was in his office? Did anyone else think that?
tiny.
I was like, is he in a closet?
No.
Like, it was like half the size of, like, it was a small
I didn't realize that was
office.
his office.
Yes, me
For a
too.
CFO?
Yeah.
It was a small, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
it was
Okay.
a little too
wondering.
small.
Anyway.
Like, it's a big building.
Yeah,
You should have a window
larger or
view.
something. Oh, you can be back with the mops. But no, I think that they're gonna, obviously their relationship's gonna grow in some
Twisted.
unconstructive way. Yeah. And then I also think that the baby situation's gonna get a little weird because we also didn't see Hakeem meet up with Mama Dubois again, which she said she was going to meet up with him. So I want to see that kind of situation. And then I want to see the twist with or the flip, I'm sorry, with Jamal and Warren, because I'm waiting for that, because I think that we all think Warren's gonna flip, but now I'm like, maybe he's not. Maybe he is like really an evil human being.
No, I want him to flip.
I do too.
Like, I just like them so good together that I'm just like, I want it to work out, and I'm like anti-Mama Dubois.
Yeah.
I think she's going down.
You do?
I think, soon. Like, all of her, I think they're all going to start to slowly turn on her. And Cookie's going to show her who's boss. At least that's my hope. Yeah. No one else is like, has confidence in that.
On the same line. I'm with you, Zach, on that same line. I think Angelo's going to come and play a big part of it, too.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go and tell Jamal about Warren, Cookie about his mother, and Hakeem and all the plots that she has going on, he's going to reveal something sooner or later. And then just back to piggyback off of you both, I think Warren's going to flip. I think when they were in the meeting, he was talking to Mama Dubois and saying that I think I finally got him to open up, like he had the higher key, but at the same time, I think Jamal's having that same effect on him.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, he's going to be pulled on, like, okay, I really love this guy, I really am interested. So, you know, that the line between
connection.
love and hate when you have to decide. So, yes.
You know, when it comes to Jamal and the music, I don't know what type of elixir he has going on,
yeah.
but they all are like
They fall for
never
him.
wanting to walk away,
Quick.
forever making great music and lock down, flip it out. I can't wait to see when Angelo and Cookie meet up again. I want to see if the chemistry's still there. I want to see how Cookie feels because of, you know, her split emotions right now, because her and Lucious were about to take off to go tour the world, and now that's not happening, and he's not quite himself, but he is. And so I think that there's going to be a lot of love triangles. I too interviewed Jussie last week at a Marshall screening, and I asked him about this season and some of the themes for this season, and he mentioned family. So I think that there are going to be lots of crossovers with things involving family. I don't think that the Dubois and Diana are going to go away that quickly because, one, I think she's a great foe for Cookie, and I think that it's somebody not only as far as the character that can stand up to her toe-to-toe, but as far as acting, I like seeing them in scenes together. It's just like amazing. So I think that we'll string that out a little bit longer. But I do think that something is going to happen relatively soon with Lucious's memory.
Oh, yeah.
I think that
You think it's going to get jogged?
I do. I think...
Gonna go for a run.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a reason for him to conceal it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he's
that's
gonna have, and then he's gonna still like try and.
But there's going to be
Pretend.
some benefit to him because he's trying to do something. Or
And Nia.
Juicy, yeah, she's
Where's
still
she gonna
missing.
be?
We don't. I mean, there's still opportunity for her to come back because we know she's on the run.
I don't think
We know
she's
she's
coming
gone
back, though. I
underground.
don't think we're
Well,
ever
it
gonna
could
see
be a
her.
new Juicy, or something could happen. I don't know. Nia Long has another role on another show, so it may not be that.
Maybe
It might
she's
just be like,
hanging
oh,
out
she
with
died.
Nessa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the two
Nessa.
of them are
Maybe
like on
she
a beach
signed her.
somewhere.
It's like,
Right.
do you guys watch the challenge where they go to like the safe house?
Where
Where the people got kicked off, go to the safe house. It's like they're just chilling, watching everything go. Yeah.
Something. Well,
Plug the challenge. Okay.
that is episode 3. I'm excited for next week.
Me too.
Because I think that there's a lot to work with, and
season's
we have so
great.
much to go. So
Built
far,
in.
so good. So, make sure that you guys are checking us out every week on AfterBuzz TV Dramas. Make sure that you are subscribing to that because we have
dramas.
And that's where you're going to be able to find us, okay? Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Pacific time. I'm Jill Munroe. You can follow me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. Abigail, where can they find you?
Guys, you can follow me at Abigail_AF on all social media. And newbies?
And you can follow me
We'll stop calling you that eventually.
You can follow me at Just Plain Zack, ZACK.
And I am Taquaila again, and you can follow me at Taquaila_I am.
Thanks for checking us out, guys. Make sure that if you are watching this on YouTube to give us a thumbs up. If you're listening on iTunes, 5 stars, please. And if you leave comments, we like them. We comment back. We will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.